where I'm from is so like it's different than where I'm from. Like this young lady here, her name Tracy. I just put on my IG. That's my partner for like 8 years. White lady, white girl, 8, 9 years. But we got a friendship that's like similar like to Texas. Like you know what I mean? It's just like that's my partner. In LA, sometimes the friendships be so like based in ego and like pride, and it just be like, nigga, what are we doing? Like the shit they be mad about. It's just I don't be. It's just never mind. I let go of two niggas of that this year. That was like my people, but they was on some shit that I didn't agree with, or they want to be mad at me. I said, all right, cool, man. All right.
Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Sour Libation.
No, let's go again. No, don't use none of that.
I was like, hey, this is actually a great conversation to start the show off with, because I'm not gonna ask you the stereotypical. Oh, I want to know about your show and all. So I do want to know about your show, because you do have a new show out that you wrote for. But we were having an honest conversation about friendships and relationships. So here we are. But yes, I think what happens in response to your statement is I feel like what happens when people come to LA is a lot of people, one, they don't know who they are as a person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start there, because that trickles down to how that person communicates and interacts with other people, whether it be a friendship or an intimate relationship with somebody. At least that's been my experience. And I'm the type of person, I've been this person since I was a kid. Outspoken, loud, kind of funny, very sarcastic, very cold. Since I was a kid, that's just me. And so moving to LA, I didn't need to switch up or try to find my path to kind of like to blend in with people. People always just gravitated toward me because I do have a light about me. I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's not true.
Your shit right now on your podcast. You have a light. Keep going.
And so therefore, I was in offline, guys. I was telling Sydney about a message that I got this morning. And I just feel that for me, it's easier for me to let go of a relationship than to fight tooth and nail to keep it going, when at some point it's just I'm prolonging that deadline. Everything that I needed to know for me to end it is right there. Why am I gonna fight for that?
Yeah. I could really love you from a distance and be okay with that. Like where I'm at in my life. Like, you know what I mean? I deal with a bunch of shit. Like a lot of people probably deal with some personal stuff people don't know about. But where I'm at in my life now with like friendships and people, it's like I come with love. You know what I mean? I don't maliciously mean anything harm to you, but if I did, I will apologize. But if it's to me ego based or in the ego form of like ego that you're upset, I'll just assess that and let you go on your way. And I won't feel like, some people be like, well, man, you don't want to like mend that. And to me, sometimes it's like, if it comes back around, cool. You know what I mean? That's fine. I can still love that person or people as friends. But as far as me chasing you to try to get you to understand something at my age where I'm at now in my life, I don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? I kind of stay. If something was wrong, this is it. This is kind of like how I perceive it. If you take it a certain type of way, you can even apologize. But if you still want to be in something where you think I owe you something else than that, then it's like, oh no, I don't actually. You know what I mean? I'm perfectly okay with like you taking that however you want. But like I think sometimes in California, sometimes the friendships are great. I got great people in California. You know what I mean? They're like my circle. I got great people around that I love and stuff like that. Over the years, I've just noticed sometimes LA is like ego serving, even in the friendships. It's how can you serve my ego? And sometimes when you don't cater to that ego, especially in the business, when they cater to your ego, I think in your friendships, you have a misconception of like how friendship should be viewed and looked at. And you know what I mean? How your friends should look at you. Like, I'm not here for all that. You know what I mean? So, that's how I view people in general, kind of, you know what I mean? It got deep real quick, Dominique.
It did. But let's stay here for a second. It's funny because I'm in the space of Ty Davis. I love Ty Davis so much, and I'm so happy that Tahir had introduced me to Ty, because
Oh, Ty Davis, he's dope as hell.
Ty is dope, and Ty said something that I had on my heart, but I have been, battling with if that was okay. I don't wish you well in life either. I don't wish you anything. If this has ended, this was done, and you just on your way, I don't wish you well, because I don't have to. Because
well, you're not obligated to.
Yeah, I'm not obligated to do that. So that's just kind of the space that I'm in. And I honestly I like it here. That goes for friends and it definitely goes for family. Like I'm
in a space where like I literally, if we could be at odds, that's fine. I literally like hope that you're still doing success. Like I don't, maybe we can't connect in a friendship level. It's almost like a relationship as well. Maybe we can't connect in a relationship level, but I'm going to operate in the same kind of sense. How you doing? Would you want the lights on? Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, lights are cool. I appreciate it. I thought I was gonna get put out by security. That's like, no, we're just gonna turn the light on for you.
I'm like, what is happening? You was pressed to get the show on the road, and then you got interruptions, sir. Like, listen, let me.
Oh, you didn't tell me. I didn't bring nothing.
This happy hour somewhere. I'm like, might as well. My coffee mug is empty.
I want to take this short opportunity and say I appreciate you having me, man. You're not a bully at all. You are such a nice person, man. You're so welcoming and warming. You've never bullied me at all. And I just want to take time to express that you're just such a great person and not a bully.
Sir, when your birthday?
See, May.
No, you're not. You don't know. You're not. When is your birthday? Be honest. Don't come over here and lying. Don't. No, you don't. You know what? I think you told me you was a Virgo. I have a Virgo ex-boyfriend on here. And y'all too are very calculated people.
No, it is be passionate. I'm a passionate person. I am a Virgo. I don't know what that means though, because I don't really get into the signs. But every time I tell somebody I'm a Virgo, they be like, "Oh, what they say? They say, you get tired easy." Some of my girls, you get tired easy. Another young lady told me, that mean you break everything down or some stuff. But I be like, they be saying the same shit with every sign.
Oh no, I'm an Aquarius, and the shit that they say in Aquarius is, it's true. Like at times I'm very flighty. I do come across as cold, and if I fuck with you and I really fuck with you, it takes me a lot to get there, and I'm very heavily disappointed if you do some shit to like piss me off that makes me like have to like end the friendship or relationship, because it takes a lot. Like I'm not gonna say that. Let's rephrase cold. I take my time getting to know people, and so when things kind of happen, I'm upset. I'm really upset.
What that mean?
And
I mean, you act crazy.
Listen, I'm the type of person. Yo, I had a former Virgo close. I call her the cousin. The person formerly known as my cousin is the best way to describe this. Right. I don't fuck with her. And it was at one point I was so like upset. I was like, I could just take this person's head, bash it into the side.
We lie, baby. We lie.
And just watch the blood pour out her head. It's fine. And just stand there. And I wouldn't feel anything. I wouldn't.
We're gonna pray that off you.
So some at times I might be a little psychotic. But I'm very imaginative, very creative, very eccentric. I'm a great person. Aquarius, we get a bad rap. People always say that people say terrible things about us, and we're pretty great people. Brandy, Whitney Houston, Michael B. Jordan, Oprah, Michael Jordan.
Okay, I just know Beyonce is a Virgo with me. That's all I know.
Yeah, she crazy too. She probably calculated, and I love Beyonce. I love Beyonce, but she always thinks she's right too, just like y'all do. That's why you laughed, because you know that's true.
No, man, I don't have a problem with being wrong. I feel like we can talk about it, but where I stop at is if it gets to be like crazy and ego, like you don't really want to talk, you want to just like yell, or you want to, then I'll just shut it out. I'm cut it out. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a Virgo thing or just me. Like I'm real big on, we can talk, we can communicate, we can discuss whatever it is. But if you finna take it to a place of like untruths or like all the silly shit, then I'll just let you have your way. I'm like, okay, yeah. Because I don't really raise my voice. I ain't really into that. So if it's gonna cost me to raise my voice, I can just end the conversation.
Have you ever looked at your birth chart?
I don't even know what you mean what that is.
Okay, so a birth chart will tell you based on the time, the location, the degrees, and how and what time you were born. It'll tell you what your rising is, what your moon is in, your Pluto,
Honestly, I don't know nothing
all of
about
that.
this.
Do you know what
Yeah.
time you was born?
Nah, like I was almost a September 6 baby or some shit, or I was almost a September 4 baby. I don't remember.
Okay,
Yeah, I think I was almost a September 4 baby, so maybe like 12 something September 5th.
okay. Ask your mama what time, and
I don't
then
know if she gonna remember. It was 40 years ago. Like,
huh?
ma, I don't
Yeah,
know if she gonna remember.
I
It
mean,
was 40 years ago.
listen. I'm just saying, you just never know. She might know. I don't know when you
I don't know
like
if I
when
want to
you.
know that, Dominic. What if it say some shit I don't want to know? What if it's like,
Well,
ooh, you
because
was born in 1207?
okay, so
Ooh,
listen. My rising is in Leo, and it makes sense. And when I found that out, it's like, oh, totally. Like this is totally is on brand for me because of kind of how I communicate with people and whatnot. So it made sense. Like I feel like I've had a very
I feel
strong
like you direct.
personality. Huh?
I feel like you're pretty direct.
Yeah. I have no room for people walking away from me and not knowing what I said.
Gotcha.
Now I said, I'm in the words of Nene, I said what I said.
Right.
It's nothing to be misconstrued or anything. And I explain it to my friends sometimes. I say, I know sometimes my advice when y'all come to me, it might sound a little like harsh, but you're my friend and I want the best for you. It's not me trying to talk down to you or anything, but I'm really passionate and I want y'all to understand y'all be doing dumb shit.
Not everybody can handle that.
Everybody can't. I had to give my little sister ass the other day and I was just like, you know what? How can I say this where I'm not super aggressive? And I said, I am very disappointed in you. Now, I don't know how that's going to affect a 25-year-old, but
Yeah,
I want you to know that I really look out for you and I have your back and I want the best for you, but I am thoroughly disappointed in you.
that was good. If she
We'll
fuck with
see.
you, she gonna be like, damn, I disappointed my sister.
So she's a Capricorn. She probably won't care.
I'll see. You see, you too much in the signs, man.
Hey, it's the way of life. It's the way of life. You would understand a lot of people better if you know the signs. That's just really how I feel. Like it's the real
I just
thing.
go off a vibe. But like, if you cool, like, cause you know what I mean. You gotta understand. Like, I don't really say much, right? Like, you know what I mean. I just kind of be in the corner chilling. And if I know you, I might say some shit like the top 3 things people say about me is he come off like an asshole. He don't speak. He act like he don't know nobody. And it's like, hey, I don't remember people names like that. It's just it is what it is. I like to keep to myself because like a defense mechanism because I'm not the most like you know what I mean. I'm talkative nigga, but
I
once I
wonder if
feel
you
like
were supposed to be a
cool,
Libra.
hmm,
I said, I wonder if you were supposed to be a Libra.
that's funny. But I like once I feel you out and you cool, then I'm like, all right, it's cool. Like we talk, but I'm not just like I don't need to be like the what they call it, like the center of attention. I don't need to be like in the room, like working over the room. That's never gonna be me. I'm gonna look like security in the back, just minding my business, not saying that with a hoodie on. And you know what I mean? If I fuck with you, I say what's up. If I'm trying to flirt, I'll be very direct. How you doing? If not, okay, I go back not saying nothing. And I'm just, you know,
Yeah, no, that's real. I can appreciate that. I it's weird because as extroverted as I am around like the people that I rock with, I become super introverted around people in new spaces. I get really quiet. I become
yeah,
very observant. I try to listen to what's happening. Even though I have hearing issues, I do try to listen.
yeah,
And I try to so I can know how to move because I'm like, how do I need to come across crazy or let them know, or can I,
yeah.
loosen up a little bit? Um, for the most part, I feel like recently I've been in a lot of safe spaces, so I'm able to like open up more. But
Mhm.
I don't like when people jump to conclusions or make assumptions about me, so that puts me in defense mode, and I'm like, I
That's
gotta.
crazy, Dominic. Keep going.
So first of all, y'all, okay.
No, 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 no. Keep going.
Sydney thinks that I bully him.
Dominic,
I don't say nothing. I don't do nothing.
I don't think you're a bully. That's why I said in the beginning, you're
I'm
not a
the
bully.
nicest person, the
That's
realest
not.
person you would ever
Yeah,
meet.
man. You're
I
not a
don't be
bully.
doing nothing. I don't be doing nothing. I have to tell people all the time, like a guy might say something to me crazy or whatever, or they make an assumption. And I'm just like, now I gotta be a bitch. Like, oh, great. I put that on my calendar today.
I'm cool with it. Like with whatever people perceive, like I don't really buy into like that. That's my truth. So I just be like, oh, okay. So yeah, I heard that. Yeah, all right, cool. Because sometimes younger me, you get worked up. Like what they mean? What they mean? But like for what? It's like, all right, you heard that? That's what's up. It's 20,000 other people heard something different, or like my other friends heard something different, or whatever. I said 20,000, like I know a bunch of people, but I just meant like a bunch of people might disagree with them. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's all good.
And that also leads me, like, people are always, I was taught early on that people are always going to make assumptions, say what they want to say. So it's all in how you respond to it. So I'm like, regardless of if I try to say, oh, that's not true, you are going to say or tell somebody else, or you are going to believe that I am this way. So it's sure, here we are. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, like I learned that's my new word, ready? I don't have the bandwidth to really care about that shit no more. Like, okay. And you got to realize this might sound so like trivial, but it's like those person's versions of you or interpretations of you don't mean that's your truth. And
That's
so
true.
it's like, it's cool that that's, how they feel about you. I used to get worked up and try to defend myself, but for what? You know?
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to keep defending yourself about people that put you on a day-to-day basis with them. It's like a totality of like, how you are to me kind of is how I operate with you. And to me, sometimes people will do like a day-to-day thing. Like if I'm upset today, it nullifies everything. It's like I really don't have the bandwidth, I'm gonna use it again, to even like deal with all that shit. So I think it's a good space to be to let people leave that want to leave. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's okay. It's no, and like I said, that's why I say I don't wish nothing bad upon them. I just, I wish the best for them. But like, if
I
anybody
don't
would
wish
like to leave,
anything for them.
yeah, if anybody would like to leave, it's all good. So then that's just what we would do. Let them niggas. I'm not like a service. I'm not a customer service thing where like if somebody upset, I'm like, no, tell me, please, I need your business. You know what I mean? I'm 40 now. I pretty much done telling niggas my favorite color. You know what I mean? I got friends.
I'm 40 now. Like, okay, so what happens from 39 to 40? Because you keep saying this. Like, what am I going to learn?
You can say 40 now, because when you 38 and 39, niggas are like, oh, you almost 40. Now you here, like, what's up? Back pain, what's up? You know what I mean? You need to stretch. Yoga.
Look,
I have to do it.
I'm proudly 35, and people are like, "Ooh, you're getting close to 40." I'm like,
see? Hey. That's how you get for you to own that. Like, I'm here now. I stand on it. Like, what's
I'm
up?
like, I'm 35. Like, was I nervous? No.
35 a good year, man. 35 a good year. 35 is like a good year for me. 35, like 32 to like 30. You know what I mean? 36 was like a great little sweet spot as far as like, you know what I mean? A lot of shit.
Okay. Question. Yeah. So when I know that initially at one point you had a head full of hair and you moved to LA.
Let's get to it, Dominique. Come on.
So how old were you? And initially you wanted to model, right?
I'll fix your face because it's disrespectful.
No. That's me asking you the question.
No, yeah, I'm joking. But I moved out to LA when I was like 21, and I moved out to be a model, right? And hey, dog, I say to my stand up and everything, like back home and forward, I'm a dime back home, right? Like what? So I took pictures. I booked a couple things, like a print ad, like 2 print ads, and the total number of, was like I booked like $1,200 worth of work, and I was like, I'm moving, nigga. This face needs to go to California. So I moved, had my little shit. I went to 2 agencies, and they was like, absolutely not, right? And then I got into like acting, like more into the acting world, and then stand up after that, and it was like, all right, cool, and then just kind of make jokes of it. But yeah, dog, like yeah, definitely had a big head. Like, okay, bet. I had a foot action ad, so I was like, man, I'm in the mall. Bet I got foot action ad. Let's do this. I was like 20, and back home, people's like, see it in the mall. It's like, yeah. Like, man, I'm finna go to LA. So that was the plan. But
it's always funny how that even happens. Like everybody, I remember I moved here. I was like 22. I was working for Nordstrom. I transferred out here, and I tell people, I was like, I'm honest about my journey here. It was very smooth. It was very kismet, like it was supposed to, like it was ordained, it was supposed to, God had it. I was like, I got a job. I was living in Beverly Hills with my cousin, the person formerly known as my cousin. But you know, the most difficult thing was living in that house. I got my own place. You know, I had great friends, was making great connections because I was like, I went to school for broadcast journalism. And I used to model back home. I was like, I could probably try this out here too. Yeah, that agency was like, bitch, please. and my brother went with me and he was like, D, why did you go all made up? I was like, I didn't listen. They needed to know what it was like after. I don't need them to see the before. This is what happened when it's so here we are. But you know, then I was like, maybe that's not what I want to do anymore. And here I am trying to get my feet back wet in the industry.
Listen, you remember Destiny's Child? This is one of my first auditions.
I remember Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child, it was called I Need a Soldier. Right? It was a video. I Need a Soldier.
Yo, I know Soldier.
They had auditions for that at 200 South La Brea. Like they auditioned for the dudes in the video. Right? It's one of my first auditions. My manager at the time, she was like, I got you an audition for a music video for Destiny's Child. My forward ass mind literally was like, oh, bet she from Houston, I'm from Texas. I'll tell Beyonce I'm from Fort. It'll be a Texas thing, and maybe she'll book me as one of the guys in the video. As insane as that process started, that's what I was thinking. I get there, nigga. I'm in like a suit almost, like business attire, right? Everybody there, like shirt off, muscled up, like you know, just doing this. I get in there, I get on this like Sidney Castillo. I walk in there, the casting director chuckled, nigga, like literally was like. She said, how you doing, baby? I said, good. How you doing? What's your name? Sidney Castillo. And you're a model? I said, well, yeah. How long you been doing it? I was like, about 6 months. You know what I mean? Okay. Do you want to take your shirt off? And I was like, I ain't never had abs, Dominic. I said, take my shirt off. And she was like, yeah. I said, oh. I mean, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I did that. And it was like, all right. And I literally was like, is Beyonce here? I said, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I know she's from Houston. It was like, no, you know, and I had to leave. And I had maybe like 2 more auditions, and I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. So then I got into like other shit immediately.
So how?
Immediately, nigga. This is how out of bearings I was. When I saw all the niggas without their shirt on, I was like, y'all so unprofessional. Put the shirt on. I'm trying to book a job here.
So when you came,
I don't like how you having trouble. I don't like how you trouble with envisioning like this.
I am very, you know, but I can't lie. I've never, like I said, I've never been on an audition or anything. Like I said, my friends be calling, you want to do? Yeah, I want to do this. Listen. I know at some point, because I want to get an agent by Q4, I just pray. I'm like, look, y'all picking me yes or no? I'm walking in the room saying that. Fuck these lines. Y'all picking me yes or no? Do I fit the description? Because this said a white woman with black, and y'all sent me in here.
It'd be like any ethnicity. Like, all right, cool. Right.
Yeah,
but I'm like, the jobs, I didn't care. I booked. Like if I didn't care about the job and just went in there on some like that type of mentality, I ended up booking most of that commercials like that. I'm like, I don't want to do this shit. And then mom would be like, go. I mean, it's like for the Orkin. I said, I don't want to be no Orkin nigga. And she was like, Sydney. I said, I don't care. And I told him no 3 times. Went in there, ended up booking a commercial. That shit paid very well, right? I had to be around a rat. So pissed. But I was so anti that commercial. It ended up being, you know what I mean? Them be the ones you book.
My brother booked a Mercedes or a BMW ad. First of all, I couldn't his ass because he don't never be telling me shit. I just be sitting there and I be excited like everybody. I saw your bro. I'm like, yeah, I ain't know nothing about this. Him or any of my friends. So I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, D, I did that like 2 years ago. I'm still getting paid real good off of that. I'm like, nigga, pay my rent.
Man.
So, just saying. I could do a commercial or 2.
This would be a good lick.
Listen, let me get a Lexus ad. I'm like, listen, I don't have a Lexus no more. They just sent me something in the mail yesterday. It's time to get your car service. I was like, I don't have that car no more. I'm like,
get your commercial agent. Get your commercial agent.
Listen, I need to. I don't listen. I have a list of things that have to be done by Q4 this year. That is one of them. So if I call asking for advice or who can you, if you got a commercial agent, can you give me a meeting? I'm using all my network.
You just gotta show up.
I'm just saying. I'm
That's
like
you gotta show up.
that, and I'm okay with that. I will call out sick. I'm sick. I can't go in. Or I will take my laptop with me, sit there at work while I'm waiting. Okay, so how did you from that? How did you get into comedy?
I did like an open mic in Texas, but on some like scared shit. Just trying it one time when I was like 19 or whatever. But then, like I say, came out to LA for that, and then I was doing acting, heavy like when you just ride around just dropping your motherfucking headshots off of casting offices and stuff. And I was actually waiting tables at BJ's restaurant in Burbank. These white people this dude named Matt Didman and this dude named Scott. Matt was tall, like 6'4" from Chicago, skinny dude. He said, "We doing a comedy show tonight. You want to come?" I was like, "Y'all do comedy?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, I'll go." And Matt was so funny to me. Like he was just so funny, physical, almost like a Jim Carrey-ish. He was so funny. And I was like, I want to do that shit. And so then I did an open mic. Kyle Irby, like at the High, brought me up. I used to do open mics. And I did a bringer show, did good. And then I was like, got that bug of like, oh, hold on. Like on some real shit, I'm 6'4", and basketball had its like, I knew my cap, like, okay, where I'm going. And then comedy is like, oh shit, I could be really good at this. Let me focus on this shit. So then I would just go to the Laugh Factory Chocolate Sundays. Chris Spencer used to host at the time. I would go there for like 6 months. On Sunday there, and on Tuesdays I would go to the Tripping on Tuesdays, and I would just watch comedy for like 6 months. I was just watching that shit. I was like, this is my college. I pay 2 drinks every time I go. And then like Chris didn't even know me. He's like, you come every week. I said, I want to do comedy. He's like, oh, tell the door so you ain't got to pay. I said, I ain't got to pay? So yeah, all right, bet. Then I just, did it. And then shit like, started happening. So.
That's dope. Okay, so now I'm going to use that when I go to the Laugh Factory and on Chocolate Sunday. So I want to do comedy. And so I don't have to pay.
It was like because I would literally sit in the front where he would see me.
Okay.
And like I would have my Texas windbreaker on every Sunday. My text, I was so happy from Texas, just everywhere. And he'd be like, "You here every week?" I was like, "Yeah." Afterwards, he's like, "You everywhere?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to do comedy." He's like, "Oh shit, okay, you should, tell them that," and start going around town. I was like, "Okay, bet."
So if that's gonna get me in free, I'll buy the 2 drinks. But I'm used
to.
Go
do comedy. You just gotta go see somebody. See you do comedy. Like, oh yeah, she doing comedy. Like she.
I'm not friends. That's enough.
Yeah, it's like yeah, she does a comic, and then like all right, bet. Like, yeah, then listen, then you really got to get on stage because if you don't, then like people will be like, oh, it'd be people that just be like around comedy. You'd be like, oh, they ain't really talking about nothing. You know what
I mean? I'm spoiled. When it comes to LA, I'm like, listen, I don't like to pay to get in anywhere. And I will not go somewhere if I don't know the person at the door or that's throwing an event. I'm not wasting my time.
That's a California thing. Anywhere across the nation, people be like, how much? Like you do comedy like in Texas, where I'm from, like Arlington, the Improv. Mm-hmm. People get dressed up. It's like, what is the ticket? They don't care. Like 36 a dough, 25. Like I'm taking my lady out. And you come to California and it'd be like, even the dudes be looking for like, hey, I need to speak to such and such. It's like, my nigga, you should have $40 to get in here. At the end of the day, you should have $40 or $20. Sometimes the club is $20.
Okay, it's kind of how I think about Vegas though.
7 days to get 6 days you could save to get $20. That's $4 a day you could save, and for 6 you have $4 left over, and you can get. And niggas be like, if I got to pay this 20, it ain't 100. I get that. They're not saying a bottle to get in. It's just 20, and then you can enjoy your time.
Niggas that's cool. I can enjoy my time free. Like I didn't, but here's the thing is like I used to go to Chocolate Sundays like when I first moved here, and we would go, like me and my homegirls are all in can go. I never paid to get in. I just knew it was a 2-drink minimum. Like I knew that. So recently having to pay, I was like, what the fuck is they on? And I'm like, I ain't never. Who you know? Like, who are you at the door? I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna drink good and I'm gonna laugh my ass off. I'm gonna have a good time.
We need your 20.
I listen. I probably had to pay for parking anyway over there. I
Yeah.
need that 20 for that. No,
That's what people don't have. People don't never look for the parking attendant hook up. I like, hey dog, I know such and such. They say I can park here. Them boys don't care. $20. Come on, let's go. They don't care who you know.
well, look, speaking of who you know, I want to segue because yesterday the internet been up in arms about a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a great week for entertainment, comedy, kind of. But there was a clip that is circling around regarding Russell Wilson being a square.
Mm-hmm.
Future being the epitome of the nigga, like everybody wants to.
I don't think he said epitome of the nigga. Keep going.
That was good though. But
that was good.
And people saying that Sierra has pretty much settled in life. Russell Wilson is a square. Future is the epitome of a nigga. Everybody wants to be Future and have Future swag. I want to talk about it because, okay, so yesterday I said,
go ahead with the graphics then, Dominique. Pull it up.
Hey,
it's a whole show going on right now.
This is the fool that said this shit.
Y'all got the worst picture of this man. Y'all are so foul. This man has dreads now. Y'all put the worst picture of this man. Keep going.
This look like a square to me.
Man, look, dog. Here's the thing.
Shannon Crowder, after I said good morning to everybody except this square, sent me a message. Telling me.
Oh, you did. You could have said it under the post, though.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna still say good morning though. And for me, as an up and coming personality, engagement and numbers are important to me. Now that fool know he could have said that under my post, but whatever. That's what I told him. And then so we're going back.
Y'all had an exchange.
We had an exchange of words, and he was like, he thought that I was going to be embarrassed about all of this stuff, right? I wasn't. So I said that you should pretty much be ashamed of what you said. I said that. I told you, straight shot. No chaser for what? So I pretty much explained to him why what he said was kind of like ass backwards. And I was just like, hey, hold on. Let me read it to you. I was like, you should be ashamed of your statement, laughing but very serious. The idea that a dude may be a square because he doesn't get bitches is lame. Whereas Future has 1 million kids, tried to deny the most recent one, stating that baby mama wanted clout. He's the lame for real. Put on a condom. Also, I felt like it's okay for you to say that somebody had a type, but isn't she allowed to pivot? So, what are your takes?
I think anybody's allowed to pivot and change who they, might be interested in. I think that's a value, that's understandable. I think it's a difference in a world of fandom and then people who really know somebody, right? So as a fan, we all have critiques of a person, maybe right or wrong, right? Mm-hmm. And people who really know somebody, they may have critiques right or wrong, but they probably have a better sense of who the person are because they know them, right?
Right.
So I don't know his whole statement. I don't know if he said Russell don't get bitches or something, but I've heard, through that he is not the most culturally savvy person in the Black community. Like, I just said what I've heard. Now I don't know him personally. I don't know him personally at all. I never met this nigga. But I think somebody's saying like, hey man, he's a square. He don't even like really deal with Black people that's not his teammates. He just, it's not even his, like, he probably had to be explaining what Sierra music is, some shit like that. Like, I think it's okay for people to be like, that's odd. And here's why. Yeah, you could pivot. But in your pivotness, if you're always showing me pictures of you and you're always showing me like y'all's couples and y'all's this and that, then it's okay for people to have their opinion of that to me. Now, if you were a closed case and nobody know your business and you don't really talk about your business, then people got opinions of your business, I think you got a leg to stand on. But yeah, if people know that person, they think, I man, that's square, dog. Like Future was at least let's say outgoing, that's what she into based upon her past. Yeah, it's okay to pivot, but it's also okay if you know that person to be like, that dude's pretty much a square and he got $100 million contract and then they got together. Whether it's right or wrong, because you always in the public eye telling me about your situation, I think it's perfectly valid for somebody to have an opinion about it. You know what I mean? Like, and that dude, I guess knows Russell more than me and you. So it seemed like he was hating probably, but I think it's cool. He just said his piece. I don't think at all it's like a bigger conversation of can a woman not pivot? Nah, I think a woman could pivot, of course. I think if the pivot is so drastic that it looks unrealistic, it's okay to, and you're in the public, that people naturally gonna have a reaction about it. You know what I mean? Like all her exes were a certain type of person to be, that's what you like. And then the next person you marry, it's not that at all. Cool. That person is meant for you. That's your person. That's all good. But it's unrealistic to be like, no one should have a comment about what I publicly always put in your face.
I feel like a lot of times what we
I feel
see.
like if the chat was involved, I feel like it would be bars, like fire emojis.
I feel like this. Niggas consistently say we're the type of y'all, not you, but people consistently say the type of dudes like that we need to date, and then somebody gets with the type of nigga that y'all say that we need to be entertained.
Well, no. I don't think Russell Wilson is I don't think Russell Wilson is the example of the man that people say women need to date. If you're saying that you got to keep all that in context. Because if you're saying the man you need to date is a Super Bowl $100 million quarterback, then that's the man you need to do. He also believes in God. Cool. But let's say all the variables. It's plenty of men that believe in God. It's very few people who are $100 million men who won Super Bowls, who are one of the best at their position in the game. So we got to put all the variables. If that's your pivot, cool, I get it, nigga. Like that's success at every level. And that could be attractive.
Let's take
right?
Okay. But we also know that, like you said, a lot of people don't make that amount of money. But as far as the characteristics that he had, let's remove his money. That is the kind of the person that people say that we need to date.
But you can't, to me, in my opinion, you can't take out the variable that most people look for, and that's security in a relationship. So if he didn't have $100 million, and let's say he had $100,000, that he really couldn't afford a lifestyle for certain type of things, but he had a good heart, then it's okay for her looking at her lifestyle to see if she could come down to that. That's an honest assessment. So we got to take the money in consideration because he does have $100 million, and it kind of may make your decision easier as far as comfortability, stability. You got Future who has money. He ain't got nowhere near, but they can still do some cool shit. It's like a personality difference, I get. But we got to put the money in because that's the whole variable of like security, financial stability, being able to do things, being a man that's successful. He's had success and now he has a big contract. So that got to be an variable too of her decision.
It's interesting that money keeps coming into play because if I were
that's security.
No. Because if I were to say that, I feel like I would get a lot of backlash for even bringing that variable into it, because to me that does also represent stability and security. That's a part of those are one of some of the things that my girlfriends and I discuss when we talk about dating and reasons why we won't date certain guys. But then I'm called a gold digger because that's all people, broke niggas, tend to hear when I'm discussing dating and why this is important. And it's interesting that you're saying that the money aspect is probably what sealed this deal.
But no, I'm not saying seal the deal. I'm saying you have to put in a variable into the equation of what overall I'm gonna say a yes or no to. Like you got to at least put it in there. And I think as far as like finances, to me, it's like, listen, I think this is just my opinion. I don't want to speak for half of nobody. But if I'm gonna bring somebody into my world and I'm gonna like pursue them, and I'm gonna make sure she's straight. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't have to bring something to the table because that's also attractive. But I think that me being with a woman and having her like hurt in a situation I fuck with you is weird for me. I think some people get like in their feelings about it because it's like what part of country you in, right? I think some women that I've talked to have an unrealistic expectation depending on the area you're in and what you do. So if I live in Texas at 25 and I have a job out of college, whatever, and I'm in a career at 25, I probably, Dominique, if I'm dating you and I'm in Texas, with the amount of money I make, the cost of living in Texas, I probably can provide a lifestyle that if I made the same money in California, I could not. I'd probably be
Yeah, that's
struggling, right?
valid.
So I think in California, some of those expectations of men in, I guess in entertainment, they listen to that and be like, at 24, 25, 26, 27, unless I'm on a show, I'm still trying to find my bearings in the business. Like I didn't really start making money until I was 31, right?
Okay.
So it's like from 24 to 31, I'll be like, damn, no, I can't do all that what you asking for in California, especially. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So you kind of just have to ignore that because some people will get in your head like, damn, you broke, you this, you that. I'm like, nah, I know I'm gonna be. Right now, I just ain't that yet, but I gotta keep focusing on this shit so I can be that. And maybe I can't date right now because if that's what everybody into as far as like having it all right now at 25. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? But I think in a certain age now, if you're gonna pursue somebody, you need to be able to financially take care of yourself. And if a nigga gonna be in your space as a girl, I believe that you should be able to, provide for this nigga if you see her as your wife. You want your wife out here doing 50-50, that's silly. But that's just my opinion.
No.
Unless you live in a situation where it's an understanding where, look, we want to live here, but this is what we got to the table. And look, then it's like, all right, I get that. It's like, all right, cool. Like, look, we living here in this shit. It's like damn near 4,000. Now, look, if we was in Texas, we have a mansion. If you want to live here, hey, baby, can you throw in 1,200 of the, like, I'm sure, or something like, okay. And if it's understand y'all married, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if not, then it's like, women be, or people be on some like unrealistic expectations sometimes to me at certain ages. And like, you know what I mean?
No,
New York, one of the most expensive cities in the fucking world. So you're going to tell a nigga if he can't live up there,
all we see is light. We don't see nothing out there.
It's a good because he don't live like, you know what I mean? It's good. Like, oh, he can't do this. He probably live in an area where he could afford, but that's what he could afford. You know what I mean?
Well, also, I think social media has skewed the idea of dating. And I think that, and also like just even different pressures from society has also played a huge part in that as well. And I explained to people, I said, hey, when I moved to LA, it was a certain type of way. It was before we had Instagram and all this stuff. Yeah. Like right as that stuff is coming, we still have MySpace, and we were taking cameras to the club, so it was different. And so you actually got to engage and interact with people on a different level. Whereas now everybody is in their phone and everybody looks a certain way. It's like I can go into a club, Greystone, whatever, and I'm like, yo, it's like Attack of the Clones. Like I might not make it out because all the bitches that look the same might eat me because I don't look like them. But also, I want to get back to the topic because I feel like we act like Sierra ain't never dated corny niggas before, though.
Oh, see, I don't know. Yeah. I know she did a Bow Wow and 50, right?
Lil Bow Wow is corny. 50 Cent is corny. I
think 50's cool ass dude, dog. I do.
50 Cent is still corny. He broke up with that girl and took the car back. That's corny.
Okay.
That's why you would listen. I'm just saying what
you don't know what kind of
shit. Give me a car and take my car back.
Listen, we're hearing it as it's over. Okay, take a car back. Right? You don't know if it was like she was like being an Aquarius and was like, and another thing. He was like, hey, relax. And another thing. And what you
repo from a nigga.
And he was like, now relax. I was what?
The situation, like he was corny. Didn't she kind of dated Amari Stoudemire while he was on a break from his wife, also kind of corny. So I'm just saying, it's not like that's not her MO today. Listen, I can give props. Yes, Bow Wow has made some great music. 50 Cent has given us birthday anthems. I'm just saying, the niggas still can be corny.
No, I understand.
It be corny niggas with money.
True. I get it.
And so that's what I'm saying. So it's not like this is not her MO.
So you're saying it's just like her to date somebody corny?
Yes. Okay. You're gonna tell me Lil Bow Wow ain't corny?
Lil Bow Wow, I think she did it when she was a teenager.
He was still corny.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
As an adult, I think it was 50 Cent, Future, Russell Wilson. And look, she free to love whoever she wants to. Really, you know what I mean? She free. She can pivot and do all what she wants to. I think the point is, I think it's okay for somebody who is always putting it in your face their relationship, and you might know him personally, to have an opinion. And his opinion was like, "Hey, that bro is corny. Like, he's a great athlete. That bro, everybody know him. He's corny. He's a square. Like, he's corny." And I think, listen, I think because we want black women to be so happy and we want them to find love because it's hard out here for them, and I totally understand that we might look at that as like, shut up, she's trying to find her happiness, even if it might be a little true. Like, we won't see her happy, nigga. Why I won't see her happy? This is what I wish for all relationships, that y'all don't put them in my face. And y'all can, that way, if y'all don't make it, no one's like going crazy. Just live your lives. Like, I don't want to, I felt in the beginning, whether she liked him a lot, she was doing a lot on purpose, regardless. Like, it was like on purpose. It was like on purpose. And it was like, okay, I want her to be happy, dog. She could be married to Joe Blow, be happy. But when you constantly, I feel like put things like, it's like you, and then you don't want nobody to say nothing, it's weird to me.
But I feel like there's a lane. Everybody has this weird lane on like social media. So there is a lane for Instagram couples, and that maybe. So let's be.
Then if it's Instagram, then it means you can have comments under the post, which is just the truth of what he's doing. He's leaving a verbal comment. I mean, he's leaving a comment that's just verbal. It could be under a post, but he just was on the show and said, just like you said, it's Instagram material. He's leaving a comment. And you some comments you like, all right, he just happens to know the person he's leaving a comment about.
I feel that, yes, you are correct. But I feel that people hone in on this particular relationship. And Russell and Sierra have been together like damn near 10 years. So how are we still even talking about this? And they have not dated. How old is baby Future?
You know why we talk about it? And we got to admit this, right? No one needed to know all the things we know about Future. I never needed to know little Future was with Russell throwing a football when they first met. I never needed to know that. But Sierra wanted people to know it and post it. And that's like this. That's why we talk about it.
So you think she was trolling? So you think she was trolling?
I think that she wanted people to know. So as soon as now she with Russell, it's now I got Future with this guy playing football at an age where he's very young. But it's like, okay, yeah, well, this is her new man. Cool, that's all good and dandy. You could do whatever you want to. It's y'all child. You and Future have whatever. But when you put it out there, you can't say, why y'all in my business? Nigga, you tell your bit, that's like Jada saying, can't say nothing about my business. You bring all your business to the red table. Her red table is Instagram. So you bring your business to Instagram. You want people to see Russell playing with the kid that's Future's kid. You want them to see it. You wanted people to see the nude guy being with, regardless of how it made Future feel, because of how he probably made her feel. Cool, tit for tat, whatever. You wanted people to see that. You wanted people to see y'all growth and always around each other as a family, as a couple, as a three. Get Future in here. You always wanted people to see that, which is fine. That's cool. But then you can't be like, don't make comments about me. All you've done.
But did she really say, don't make comments about me?
Or not her, but just people are be like, why y'all care? Or like you just said, like, they've been dating while all of a sudden. They've been putting in our faces for how long have they been dating? You know who I don't know about? Denzel and his wife. They've been together stopping kids. I don't know nothing about their business. I don't. I had to be told, oh boy, was his son. Because that's how you do shit. But because we live in the world.
This boy look just like him and Pauletta.
But they've been a son before Pauletta. But like, it's just like, when you do that though, like, here's what I take pride in. I take pride in being a little private. You might hear about my business, you might kind of assume, or you might have to piece some shit together. And by the time you piece some shit together, my business has probably moved on, right? And it's like,
that's valid.
I'm cool with that. So I can never be like, that's why I'll get upset if you talking about something that you don't know about, because I don't even tell my business like that. You know? So it's like, I couldn't be a dude that was like always flashing, I'm 6'4", I'm 6'4", I'm 6'4", I'm 6'4", I'm 6'4", I'm 6'4", I'm 6'4". Like, that was, I took pride in. I'm 6'4". And Dominique was like, yeah, and Sydney's 6'4". Hey, why you talking about my height?
But it's,
and get offended. That's all you see is my height. That's all you fucking say.
I mean, if that's all you want to talk about, like, sure. But that's corny to me too.
Posting relationship stuff is the same vein to me all the time.
I think it depends. Like, I feel like there's levels to it. Like, I like that people are able to
Oh,
collaborate.
she will dance. She will post photo, and then she'll hit you with a dance, which is cool. You know what I mean? See her give you a little something.
So what I was gonna say was this, and this is no, I like Sierra.
Me too.
So, but when in hindsight, like maybe that was also another pivot because you have to think that are people really buying Sierra's music? You know, like, and I'm not.
Preach. I'm. Oh, we talking the same language right now. Keep going.
So
Because no one's buying the music. Keep going.
so maybe that's a way for her to like I said, pivot into Instagram. So as far as like, okay, this is how I get endorsements. I have to post this. I got this deal with that. So I think that's part of also why we see a lot of what's happening in their household because of that. Like, and I mean, I know that he gifted her, he bought the rights to her music and gifted it to her. So, I mean, but again, when was the last year album? That album, I don't know. And I'm not trying to be messy. Like Body Party was dope. I do say have that album saved because she got some bangers.
It's not even about the music. It's just about like you're saying. She's making a pivot to go to Instagram, which is fine. It's money in Instagram.
Yeah.
It's $1 million business. That's totally fine. All what she's doing is totally dope. But I'm saying, in doing all of that, you're not exempt from comments like my man saying that he thinks "Oh Boy" is a square. You're not exempt from it because I guarantee you, if it was just they was together and they was out there just minding their business, it's not even a topic of conversation to even think about. So, but because she's taking a lane, which is fine, successful, she make money off Instagram. All what you said is true, but then there's comments and there's viewpoints because that comes with that. And I don't think he's wrong for saying it because he just gave an opinion, just like somebody said, they the best thing since bread. That's their opinion. He like, I mean, he kind of a lame dog to him. You know what I mean? But he allowed to say that. And now he said even too, it's not like Russell ain't gonna fight. I think he said it like Russell will fight. Like Russell not like soft, lame, like pushover. He'll fight. That's fine. He's just giving his opinion of like a type of man that, you know, that was just his opinion. It could be wrong. I don't even think Russell got a.
I think the big, like I said, I think the big issue is it's how it was him comparing the two. Like we said, again, they have not been together in this amount of time, but it's like, oh, you can't date a Future and then get with a lame like Russell. So I think that's the issue, the comparison. And I don't know, like I said, what the conversation was about leading up to that statement. But it's like, damn, like I can see, like I said, maybe 10 years ago this statement was had or whatever. But I'm like, nigga, like let it go. But we always see it's like the same thing. This keeps popping up every so often. How we keep talking about Ray J and the art of Ray J and how important Ray J is to the culture. So every so often, it hasn't happened this year, but surely we're going to hear about Ray J again in some capacity, doing something crazy that has shifted the culture. That's all I'm saying. And so it kind of, after a while, it gets old. It's like, okay, let them niggas do them. He not tripping off of Sierra, clearly, because he done had 2 kids after that. Like, let that man go on and drink his lean.
So let's say I was in the public eye, like huge public eye, like, and I had messed with Cardi B. I dated I can't even name all the artists, like just other female rappers
Okay.
that had a certain type of like personality that people they were known for, right? And then I'm in the public eye with it, cool. And then I dated Dakota Fanning, right? And I'm in love with Dakota, right? I have Dakota taking my daughter from other rapper that's a female to get her nails done. Like on one of our first posts. It's like, look at Dakota, showing my baby the culture, right? do you think people will have an opinion on what I'm doing? Or would people, or would listen specifically, with black women like yourself be so into pivoting and into being happy? And let's say Dakota Fanning, let's say, I don't even want to say Cardi B.
It's like the
No,
Kanye
no, 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 no.
thing.
I want to say Cardi B. Let's say a rapper who's doing very successful, but Dakota got like, no, no, no. What's the twins? What's the twins? Olsen
Ashley and
twins.
Mary Kate.
I'm dating Mary Kate, right? I'm dating now. Everybody know Mary Kate got bread, and I'm like, she's so dope. Would you be like, Sydney's allowed to pivot, and if he likes Mary Kate, so what that she just signed a deal with Walmart to do all her clothing, right? So what? He pivoted and he's allowed to be happy because such and such drug him through the mud, right? He was a married man. He's divorced now.
This
And now
sounds real personal.
no, I'm just saying, and I'm just because I really was married. So it's like,
I know,
like,
that's why I said this sounds
so
real
now I'm dating Dakota Fanning. Would you, and I come from like dating, would you not have an opinion? And you not Dakota Fanning, excuse me, Mary Kate, and you know financially, and then people would tell you, why are you putting finances into it? He pivoting. He like Mary Kate. Would you let me be happy? Or would you be like, okay, Sydney? You wouldn't have just nothing to say about it. I'm bringing Mary Kate to my comedy shows, right? And I'm letting her play in my daughter's hair. Like, come here, get in the photo. Come on. You wouldn't say nothing. You'd be like, Sydney pivoting. He allowed to pivot and be happy. And I'm just with Mary Kate, like, And every inspo, you know that smile, you know you would shoot bullets in my comments.
Sure. I'm sure you are allowed to pivot.
And listen, here's the thing. Thank you. But if I was always putting in people's face on Instagram, I would allow people to have comments. Be like, man, Mary Kate is square, Sydney. I'd be like, man, whatever, I'm pivoted. Shut up. I am pivoted.
She's taking me to Disneyland in Paris.
I'm pivoted, man. She do my little daughter hair.
Okay.
Now look, and you see pictures of Mary Kate and my daughter running in the park, and I'm running with them. This little caption like happiness is forever.
But also with but I also understand that with being in the public eye and being a celebrity, that's what comes with it. People break up. Shit happens.
Keep going.
You just spin me around. But that's because that just comes with the territory. Okay, so I get it. I understand. Yes. So here we are. We're back here. But I'm saying, to me, it sounds like a lot of people just be capping and caping for Future because niggas want to really fuck Future. It don't have nothing to do with Russell and Sierra. They're like, she a dumb bitch for leaving. She a dumb bitch for leaving that nigga and finding her happiness with that corny nigga. Like, that's really what people say.
I don't think
like, why she gotta take the toxicity? Why y'all tell us?
I don't think she's toxic. The majority of conversations I've had about this topic has never been she's toxic. She a dumb bitch.
No. I'm just saying.
It's like, acknowledgement that like, hey. You could be happy and pivot, but can I just say a couple things, dog? Can I just, since you're always posting it, can I say something that might not be with all the, and look, because I think if you say something, people always pivot to like, you don't want black women to be happy. You don't want that woman to be happy. You want her to be tortured. No, sweetheart, I want her to stop showing me her life. Hey,
you do, but you have to also think the average person isn't thinking in that mindset. And I say this to say is that
I'm dope, Dominique. Keep going. I apologize. That was uncalled for. That wasn't called for. I didn't have to say that.
No, you're fine. But what I'm saying is that you have to think like a lot of people, especially for black women, we are taught a lot of times that if there's no tussle or struggle involved when it comes to a relationship and getting a partner, then it's not real. So for people, we're used to seeing images and videos and movies that are like Baby Boy. I'm not saying Yvette was right or wrong for what she did, but it was like, oh, she got to take this shit from Jody. It's like, so we see images like that all the time. That's like, okay, well, without a struggle, I can't obtain love. Or I'm tired of going through the back and forth with men, the type of men that I'm picking. I want to try something different. Well, that's not going to work out for you because, you know, he might not be able to season chicken right, or he might like. So that's been my issue. I feel like a lot of the people, it's more so particularly Black men, have been in those comments perpetuating that we got to tussle when it comes to love.
And I agree with everything you said. And the only thing I'll say is they wouldn't have comments to leave if it always wasn't in their face.
Sydney, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, and tell them about the new show. You have a new show that you...
I mean, you can find me in Dominique's Close Friends because she loves me so much. She's not a bully. You can find me on Sydney is Funny on all social media. SYDNEY is funny. April 21st, I'll be on HBO Max with some stand-up. On Sundays at 11:30 on HBO, streaming on HBO Max. I have a show called Game Theory I'm waiting on. Make sure y'all check it out. And I just want to say, I've been wanting to be on this Whiskey Sour podcast for so long.
You and here are not going to keep bullying me and making passive-aggressive ass statements about this.
Thank you so much for humbly allowing me to grace your stage. And thank you. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
What? I went to a taping for y'all show. You said that. Did you? I'm irritated.
Why are you irritated? Why are you irritated?
Anyway, y'all, I saw the taping for the show that Sydney is going to be on, that Marlon Wayans put together, and it's amazing. It's amazing, especially if you love comedy. Just if you love Black excellence. Let's just
smile when you say it.
Just Black excellence. Shout out to Shantae. I adore Shantae.
Now give me that energy when you talk about me. Go.
Sydney Castillo is cool. DC Irvin, hilarious. Tony Baker, gotta love Tony. But Sydney is cool, and this was a great conversation that
my feelings, man.
was at a dead end, and we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
I
don't believe it.
You heard my feelings.
I'm about to, before we get up out of here, I'm about to go look at her Instagram real quick.
You heard my feelings. You gave everybody love, and you said just Sydney.
Sierra's profile really be as much as you think that she posts him. She be posting her in that body, because Sierra got a banging body. Sierra is bomb.
Incredible.
She's
one of the best people in the world.
Like, you about to look her? That's her ass.
Like, I don't really look at married woman. That's a married woman. I'm not gonna really, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
I'm just saying, like, I can give credit where credit is due. And a lot of her page, I'm being honest, is mainly her. So what is she really? Or is her happiness just making you niggers uncomfortable?
I'm not mad about her happiness.
See y'all here next week. Be sure to like, everybody, and buy some candles. That's all I got for y'all. Yeah, you bought a candle.
Delicious. My mama got it. She loved it.
Yay! Shout out to your mom. Thank you so much for supporting Black business. And I'm gonna see y'all here next week.